All right, so let's start configuring. Let's get one router. Let's use the 1941. Let me just change this to just router. And this router will serve as the default gateway and DHCP server for the access points. Okay, let's get to access point. Get the 3702I and another one. The first one will be used for IT department, and the second one, let's say on the operations team. There you go. And let's get one switch. Let's use a 2960. Let me put this as switch. Right. And let's get a wireless controller. Let's use the 2504. Okay. And last, one PC for management. This is for management so that we can manage the wireless controller. Okay. And this WLC controller will help us to manage these two access points. So let's connect all of them. Let's get straight through cable, gigabit port. Then let's just use this on the let's say fast Ethernet 0/10, and then this one. Let's connect it to the fast Ethernet 0/20, and the router to switch. Let's use the gigabit 0/0, and let's put it on the gigabit 0/2. And from switch to wireless controller, let's plug this on the gigabit 0/1 and this gigabit Ethernet 1. Okay. And the last one, computer, fast Ethernet 0 to gigabit Ethernet 2. Let's open the access point for IT and then go to physical view and then click this power adapter and drag it over here to turn it on. And let's do the same thing on the operations. Go to physical and then click the power adapter and drag it over here to turn it on. And now they are turning on. And let's go back to the IT access point. Let's go to the config and let's make sure that it's on the DHCP mode. So gigabit Ethernet 0, it's on the DHCP, that is good. And this operations, config and then gigabit Ethernet, and it's on the DHCP. So we should pick up an IP address once we set up the DHCP server on this router. And we'll be using the network 192.168.1.0/24. All right, and we'll use the first available host on this network IP address to this gigabit 0/0 on this router. So let's open this router, click enter to get started, then enable, then comp T to go to global config mode, and interface gigabit 0/0, and let's give it an IP address 192.168.1.1, then space 255.255. Let me spread this, dot 255.0, and I'll type here no shutdown to turn on the interface. There you go. And then I'll type here exit, and let's create a DHCP. I'll type here IP space DHCP and then space pool, and then I'll give it a name. Let's say pool number one, and then question mark. We'll use this command, the default dash router. Okay, so I'll type here default dash router, and we'll set 192.168.1.1 so that all of the access points will get a default IP address of 192.168.1.1, the default gateway. Hit enter, and then next, we'll use this command network. I'll type here network and then 192.168.1.0 and then space 255.255.255.0. There you go. So this is the network, of course, 1.0. And then I'll type here exit, and then I'll type IPDHCP, and then excluded. Let me hit the tab on the keyboard, and then starting from 192.168.1.1, we will exclude this IP addresses to the registration up to 192.168. Sorry, spread this dot 1.9. Okay, so from 1.1 to 1.9, this will be excluded on the IP registration. And I'll type Control C on the keyboard, and then I'll type here right to save the configuration, and then I'll close this. And let's see. Let's see if they pick up an IP address. Let's go first check on this IT. So let me drag the cursor on this access point for IT. And you see in here that on the gigabit Ethernet 0, so we got an IP address of 192.168.1.10/24. If we'll try to open this access point, go to config and then gigabit Ethernet 0, you see in here that it's 192.168.1.10 and 255.255.255.0, so DHCP. Well, if on your case, if it did not get an IP address, then you can try to switch back to static and then go back to the DHCP. And it should pick up an IP address, Joe. And let's check the other access point. Let me drag the cursor over here. And you see that on the gigabit Ethernet 0 is it got an IP address of 1.11. Okay, and it's good. Now let's start configuring the wireless LAN controller or the WLC. So let's open the WLC, go to config and then management. So as you can see in here is it has the IP address of 192.168.1.1, and then the subnet mask is 255.255.255.240. So this is the default IP address. So in a real world, if we want to manage the WLC, then we need to connect a computer to the WLC, and we need to follow the IP address. Let's say what we can do on this PC is we can put it on the 1.2, and we can put the same subnet mask, okay, which is the .240. But on this packet tracer is it has the capability now we can even change the IP address of the WLC. So let's take advantage of it. So let's make this then 1.254, and then I'll change the subnet mask. Let's say 255.255.255.0. Okay, and then the default gateway will make it 192.168.1.1. All right, there you go. Okay, and then to this PC though, we need to configure the IP address so that we can manage the WLC. So IP configuration, let's put 192.168.1. Let's say the WLC is 254, right? So we'll make this 253. And then subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And well, we will not use default gateway in here. It's just, for management. Okay, let's go. And let's open the PC again and go to the command prompt. Let's ping the WLC, all right? Before we start, managing the WLC, we need to make sure that we have a connection. So ping 192.168.1.1.254. And as you can see here that it's trying to ping, and we can ping, all right? So we can reach the WLC. It's good. So I'll close this, all right, and then I'll open again, and let's go to the web browser. There we go. Let's wait for it, and I'll type in here 192.168.1.254. Okay, this is the IP address on the WLC, okay, 1.254, and it will take a while. All right, let's wait for it. Let me try to fast forward the time. Let's go back. There you go. So Cisco 2500 series wireless LAN controller. Scroll down, and now welcome. Please start by creating an admin account. So let's create one. So let's create admin, and then password. Let's say capital P and then @SSWORD 1234. Okay, so I'll repeat the password. Password 1234, and start. Okay, and this is it. So system name, let's give it a name. Let's say Dance IT um, Network. Okay, and then country. Actually, it's not letting me to change this. Well, let's leave it in China. All right. And then date and time is correct. And then the time zone, let's leave it default. Okay. And then for management IP address, all right, so let's use the same one, which is 192.168.1.254. Okay, subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and for default gateway is 192.168.1.1. And for management VLAN ID, well, we'll just use the default VLAN, which is the VLAN number one. So let's put it number one. Okay. But if in case that you will configure the wireless controller on, let's say, default 50, or on VLAN 150, all right, then please do put it on the VLAN ID of 150, all right, or let's say 50, all right. But in here, let's just use the default VLAN, which is number one. Okay. And then next is we were asked to create a let's say a wireless network. So in here, it's the SSID, right? So let's put just IT, all right, and then WPA2 personal. Okay, select that, and then let's create the password. So password is capital P at SSWORD. Same thing, 1234, and I'll repeat the password. 1234. Okay, there you go. And next, it says in here that the please match the request format. Okay, maybe I mistyped something in here. P at SS1234. So it should be okay, there you go. So anyway, you create any password in here if you want to. All right. So I'll hit next. And then for a virtual IP address, let's leave it default. All right. We will not gonna use any virtual IP address, but let's leave it default in here. Okay. Or maybe you can put it here just 1.1.1.1. Okay. There you go. We will not gonna configure any virtual though. And then apply. Then okay. There you go. And I'll close this. Let's try to ping 192.168.1.254. I'm pinging the WLC. Let's see if we do have connection. We do. Okay. All right, and I'll close this. Let me try to open the web browser again. There you go. It will take a while. All right. And then 192.168.1.254. I'll hit enter. And then I will add S in here. So HTTPS and then the IP address of the WLC. I'll hit enter, and you see the wireless LAN controller and then log in. So the username that we create is admin, right? And then the password is capital P and then at sign, then SSWORD1234 and log in. There you go. And we'll take a while. There you go. And let me maximize this. So as you can see here, this is the monitor area. Okay, so as you can see in here that this is the management IP address, the 1.254 software version, okay, and system name, Dance IC network. All right, and access point summary. All right, and you see in here that the wireless LAN controller was able to detect that there are two access point. All right, as you can see here. So let let's move to the WLANs. All right, so in here WLANs, and we'll take a while. And you see in here that we create a SSID, right, which is the IT. So what we'll do in here is we'll create another one. All right, so this for the IT, and we'll create another one for the operations. So let's go back in here, and to create one though, so create new and then go. Okay, and let's create one for operations. So let me type here operations. There you go. And then operations again. All right, and then apply. Let's wait for it. This color should disappear, right? The orange one. And if it disappeared, then it's done. All right, let's wait for it. There you go. And then let's see here. So Status, it should be enabled. Let me put a check mark on it. So operations, good to go. And then management, of course, and then go to the security and let's set up a password. So on the layer 2 security, so let's put it on the WPA plus WPA2. Okay, let's use this one. And then WPA2 policy, and then let's use the PSK. Let's enable this to create a password. So let's say the password is the same one, which is capital P at sign SSWORD 1234 and apply. There we go. Let's wait for it. Okay, it's loading. It's loading. There you go. Okay, and let's go back to the WLANs, right? In here, and it's loading. Now we have two SSID, so one for IT and one for the operations. Okay, that's good. And if we'll try to minimize this, right? If I will put or drag the cursor on this IT, you'll see in here that providing WLANs, all right? So it can see the IT and it can also see the operations, all right? And to this access point number 2 for the operations, it can actually see the IT and it can see the operations. Okay, that's good. And let's go back to this WLC then, all right? And then let's go to the wireless, all right? Let's see. So let's see here. Will take a while. Okay, so here, as you see in here, the wireless LAN controller is can detect the two access points. So the operations and IT, as you see in here, the IP address is showing 1.11 for the operations and 1.10 for IT, and it will try to view more information. You'll see the MAC address, okay, the model, okay, and you also see the let's say here the time. Let's say if you want to set up a just a 24-hour usage or 48-hour usage, then you can do it in here. Okay, so this is the day, and then hour, and then minutes. Okay, but here in packet tracer, so we don't have options to um, edit this time. All right, so we can only view it, and it's 100 mbps. Okay, this actually reminds me on my previous job. Whenever we have a visitors and clients on our site and they're requesting for an access to the internet, then as an IT, what we're doing is we're accessing the WLC, and we are creating a additional user account with the username and password, and it will be dispatched to all access points on the site, right? And there is a time frame. Let's say if they can use it for 24 hours and 48 hours, but that depends on their request. All right, so going back to this access point, okay, so if I will drag the cursor to this IT access point, you'll see in here that it can see a two SSID, the IT and the operations, okay? And same thing on this operations, it can see both, okay? I'll drag the cursor and you'll see it can see the IT and operations as well. So our goal in here for the IT access point, we want to configure it only for IT. Okay, and on the operations it should only for operations only. So how are we going to do that? All right, so let's go back then to the WLC. So go back to this PC and let me maximize this. Okay, and you see here, all right, let's go to the WLANs. Okay, so WLANs in here, and then to the AP groups. Okay, let's wait for it. Okay, so now we need to create a group though. So add group. Okay, and then let's create first for IT. Okay, so let's make it IT underscore, and then let's say group. Okay, and then description. Let's say for IT only. Okay, and then add. Let's wait for it, and let's create another one. So in here, let's say operations group, and then description for operations only, right? And click add. Okay, and it's loading. All right, and let's go first to the IT group. Let me open this IT group. Okay, and it's loading. There you go. So once we are on the IT group, okay, so let's go to the WLANs and click this add new, and then we need to add this IT. All right, so we have two options, either operations or IT. So let's select the IT and then add. Okay, you'll know if it's done if the color orange in here disappear. There you go. All right, and then we are still on the IT group, so let's go to the AP, to the access point, and let's add the click this IT, and then add APs. Okay, so add, there you go, and then okay, and let's wait for it. Once it's done, then it will actually blink. Okay, there you go. All right, and then let's go back to the AP groups, and then let's select then the HR. I'm sorry, operations. Okay, so operations group. All right. Anyway, though, it's all in one though. Operations, finance, maybe. All right. Okay, so let's go to the WLANs, and then let's do the same thing. So add new, and then we'll add the for operations, and then add. Let's wait for it. It will blink once it's done. Okay, there you go. And then go to access point, and then let's add the operations. There you go. And then add access point. Then okay, and let's wait for it. It will take a while. There you go. And now it's done. And let me minimize this, and let's check the IT access point. Let me drag the cursor, and you see in here that the providing WLANs is only for IT. Okay, and let's check the operations. You see in here. Okay, let me put this here and drag it again, and you see that it is only for operations. All right, and let's get a let's say smartphone or a tablet. Let's get a one tablet and one smartphone. Okay, so let's connect this tablet then to the operations. So I'll open this tablet and then go to the config, and then wireless 0, and then SSID, you see. So I'll type here operations, username, and then for the password, we need to select this WP2-PSK, and then the password. Okay, password 1234. I'll hit enter, and it should connect the operations. So as you can see here is there is a connection. All right, and it will drag the cursor on this tablet. You see that it pick up an IP address of 192.168.1.14/24, and the gateway is a 192.168.1.1. All right, so we'll try to ping from this tablet to the let's say to this router. Okay, desktop, and then command prompt. Let me type here ping 192.168.1.1, and we are receiving a reply. Okay, and definitely if you'll do this also on the smartphone, let's say if you want to connect this smartphone to IT, or let's say on the operations, all right, and you can try to play around with the network. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dance IT Network, to get more updates about Cisco CCNA. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or requesting for a video tutorial, then you can email me, danceitnetwork@gmail.com, or you can put it on the comment section below. Thanks. Bye.